Hello everybody. It is time for another pattern. This one is called Hairpin. It's a, excuse me, it's also listed under the new patterns. By the time you see this, it may have fallen off because, they are constantly rotating the new pattern page. So if you can't find it, when you're on Pattern Dash Collections and you want to find it, you can always hit the search button and you can type in the name and then you can find whatever pattern you're looking for, okay? Now, I was not really inspired by the colors in this particular artwork. They just don't appeal to me. I think it's because they're kind of muted. They're not bad, but they don't really appeal to me. But the pattern itself was very interesting. So, and it's super easy to do. First thing we do is we do a little line. Next thing we do is from the top of that line, we kind of come around like that. And then we just keep following that around kind of in like a spirally, like a triangularly spiral until we get it as big as we want. And that's it. And we can do them with triangle shapes. We can do them with circle shapes, with square shapes. Whatever shape we start out with, we just keep auraing that shape. And you can come outward like a mandala type of thing, which I kind of really like. Just in stems like that. This one's interesting. And then she did this one, which is really overlapping. So when I look at these and try to figure out where they started, look at each one of these and find the one that is on top of everything else. So they started in this corner and worked their way this way. That is also very interesting. So I'm not too sure what I want to do yet, but I find it very fascinating, the concept of this spirally, easy to do thing. I think I'm going to use this bright pink piece of paper today. And I'm just going to start with which pen do I want? Where did I put? I don't know how I can lose my pens. They're all sitting here on my desk. How can I lose a pen? Okay, we're just going to start with one. Do I want them? I don't know what I want. I'm going to come out like this. I'm just going to go around. I kind of like that triangularly shape. Oh, I went the wrong way. Guess it doesn't matter which direction you go. And I'm just going to build outward from the middle. And I'm just going to keep going until I feel like it's the size I want it. Why not? Right? Easy peasy. Each one is unique and different. This is fun. Simple, no stress, no need to think. Just get in the zone. Right? I'm just going to keep building them up until I get them the size that I want. Let's see. Let's do a question. If you could have survived any historic disaster, which would you choose? Ugh. Well, surviving any disaster is a positive thing, right? I would say, the very first thing that came to mind was that's the first thing that hit my head. But then the second thing that hit my head I think is more interesting. Titanic is, absolutely iconic. And one of the first things maybe a lot of people think of when they think of a big disaster. But I'm actually thinking the San Francisco earthquake, what one is it, 19 something, 190 something? I'm thinking that one. San Francisco earthquake. Because that's more likely what be the type of disaster I would actually encounter in my lifetime. Living here in Southern California, the likelihood of a major earthquake is high. Higher than anything else that I might encounter in my life. This is so much fun to just play. And just building around and around and around with no really rhyme or reason to any of where I've started and stopped. It's just super fun though. If you could discover that something you thought was true was actually false, what would you wish it to be? Golly. That's basically asking what truth do you want it to be not truth? I have something. It's in my head. It's really personal. It has nothing to do with me particularly, but the history of someone I know and love that I wish that they had never had to endure or encounter. And it's their story, not mine, so it's just private kind of. But that's the first thing that comes to mind. If I wish that that was not true. That portion of that person's life hadn't happened that way. But I know it did, and I'm very sad. You notice that many times when these questions come up, I'm often thinking of others. I've noticed that. Quite frequently, I don't think of myself, which I think is interesting. Okay, now I want dark areas. I think I want this one to be bigger, or I want another. Okay, I want another one in here. Like that. I think I'm going to fill in here with dark. This didn't take long to do. This was a fun one. As a pattern, very fun, very easy. But I think I want more contrast. So I'm just going to go around here, fill in, and you won't see those stems, which is fine. If you could leave flowers on any one person's grave every week, whether you knew them or not, who would it be? Princess Diana comes to mind first thing. I don't know why. Her death really hit close to home for some reason. Even though I know nothing really about her. I'm going to sneeze. Oh, excuse me. Tried to cover my microphone best I could. Hopefully that wasn't too terribly bad. Sorry about that. Yeah. When that one really got to me. So I would say if I could leave flowers for Princess Diana every day, I would do so. Imagine that there are many other people and celebrities and that you could also do that for, but I don't know why that one came to mind just like immediately. There was like no question in my head. Many of these other questions I have to think about, but that one, not so much. Oh, I like that. I like that with the dark. That's exactly how I imagined it. Okay, next question. We're doing a lot of questions today. That's because this one didn't really need a lot of explanation. It was easy to draw. If you could be invisible for 1 hour, where would you go and what would you do? See, there's another one of those weird questions that's hard for me to answer. Where would I go and what would I do? I would go to the Smithsonian Museum and go into all the back rooms and all the places to see all the things that are stored where people don't usually get to see. I am fascinated with historic like costumes and art. Ooh, that would be good too. I could go to, if I was invisible, I could go to the Louvre and go right up to all those paintings that you're not allowed to get close to, or the Sistine Chapel, or any of those historic art places. Oh, that would be so good. See, now my mind is moving. I could go to any of those museums. Of course, an hour is not very long. But to be able to see, I would love to be able to see the Mona Lisa like right up close because it's tiny. It's much smaller than you would expect. And then they don't allow you to get very close to it for archival reasons, which they absolutely should. But I would love to be able to just come right up close to it and observe, not touch, but observe. And I'd be able to do that if I was invisible. Because then I could get past the barricades. Any of those famous artworks that you're not allowed to get up close and personal to. That's what I would do. Absolutely. Behind the scenes of the Smithsonian would be interesting as well. Any of those kinds of that's the first thought, is I would go to museums and go into and closer to the things that you're not supposed to be near and touch stuff. I wouldn't touch. I promise I wouldn't touch. I know better than that. But I would surely love to be just right up close and personal. Now, see, I know, I know somebody whose answer to that would be completely different than mine. And their answer would probably be, now I don't know for sure, but I suspect their answer would be that they want to go behind the scenes at Disneyland, into all the staff areas and stuff, see the secrets. That's cool. I like how that came out. And I think now I'm going to want to do a little shading. Start where I have things that overlap. I'm glad I did a lot of overlapping. I think that's fun. Now I'm going to get to do a lot of drawing today, which is awesome. Hubby's not going to be home most of the day. He's got some work to do, and then he's got some church stuff to do. So, and it's a nice, quiet day. And I'm feeling pretty good, which is awesome. Sometimes I'm not. I come out here and draw anyways because it's what day I have. But today I'm feeling pretty good. So I'm hoping to get a lot of arting done today. And I've actually planned a bunch of stuff out. Let's see, this one is going to go up on the 8th of January, and I actually have plans. Believe it or not, I actually have plans for the entire month of January. I can't believe it, but I do. I certainly am not going to get all of January done, but if I can get all of January completed before the 1st of December, I will feel really, really good, because that way, when it gets crazy at work, which it's going to, and when I'm absolutely exhausted and I just don't feel like drawing, which will happen, I won't have to. And then beginning of January, after Christmas, my son's coming home for a little visit, and we're gonna do Christmas with the fam via Zoom on like the 26th or 27th, maybe probably 27th or 28th maybe. Anyway, after Christmas, we're gonna do Christmas with the fam via Zoom, and son's gonna be home, and I want to spend as much time with him as possible, because I miss him desperately. There we go. That's given it a little bit of dimension. And now I think I want a little bit of highlighting. I think. But I don't want... Do I want this pencil? Yeah, that pencil's good. That's fine. Can you guys see that highlighting? I guess you can. This pencil's not as bright as the Prismacolor ones. This is a Faber-Castell Gold Faber, which I understand is a student grade white pencil, but it was what was in open stock at the store that I was at, so I bought it because I just needed a white pencil. I didn't need a whole set of pencils, just a white one, because my white one I use white a lot. And this one's not as vibrant. I never thought that you could tell the difference between a white color pencil, but you absolutely can. It's very interesting to me. I like this, but I still think I might come back with my white gel pen and give it even more of a highlight somewhere. Just at the tips of the triangles, I think. Yeah, for sure. I'm going to have to come back with the white gel pen and give it just a bit more of a goose. I want it brighter. This is not enough. It's better, but it's not enough. So let's use this. I like the Uniball Signo. It's my favorite. Let's get the ink flowing here. I'm going to start here, I think. That's way better. Yeah, that's way better. Okay, that's what I needed. Just turning my page to make sure I don't stick my hand in it. Excuse me. Okay. Question. Wrong page. My book flipped over. If you could relive one romantic date from high school just as it was, which would it be? No. 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 Wouldn't want to relive any high school dating. Nope. 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 Can we change it to college? My high school dating experiences were not Ones I really want to relive. What's the next question? If you could relive one romantic date from high school just as it was, what would you, that was, I just read that. If you could relive one romantic date from high school as you would like it to have been, which would you choose? Prom. Yeah, prom didn't go as I had hoped. I would have liked prom to be better. Was it the worst thing ever? No, not the worst ever. Had car troubles. I didn't like where prom was held. Was in a scary part of town. Why? I don't know. Maybe that's all the prom committee could afford, but my Lord, it was not the best place for a bunch of teenagers to be driving at night. Really wasn't. It was a scary part of town. Really not too sure why the prom committee, the adults of the prom committee, allowed that. And then I had car troubles, and that was not the place to have car troubles. And yeah, my date was younger than me, and he couldn't drive, so I drove to the prom. And it was just not. I could just do that one in a different way. I would. Alrighty, there we go. That one's called Hairpin. It was easy to draw. I enjoyed myself immensely. And look at that. Very pretty. You guys can do this one super easy. Just yeah, up and down and around and around. It's super simple. All right, you guys have a great day. I will see you on the next video. What am I drawing next? Next, I will be drawing for Wednesday the 13th, In and Out Hearts. As you know, every other video is going to be a back to basics lesson video. So if you want to pass those by, you can. So this week, Wednesday, there was one video of back to basics. Next week there will be back to basics twice because it's every other video. So the 11th and the 15th will be back to basics, and the 13th will be a pattern. And then going forward to the following week, Monday and Friday will be patterns, and Wednesday will be back to basics, and so forth and so on. So every other week there will be 2 patterns, and every other week there will be 2 back to basic lessons until I'm done with whatever it is that I'm planning for back to basics. So far I've planned out through, actually I have planned out back to basic lessons all the way through the end of February. So at least January and February you'll have lessons every other one. You guys have a great day. I will see you on the next video. And yeah, that's it. See you later. Bye.